anyone that's been following my journey will know that I get fed up staying in a state of limbo. I'm very ambitious. I'm far more ambitious than I've ever been in my life. Um, I have big dreams, big goals, but they're really just for me to fulfill a prophecy, a destiny, really, just to fulfill my purpose and what I come here to do. And I'm realizing my skill set. So I recognize I can talk on camera. I have no doubt I'll be able to perform live on stage, talking, helping people through crises, for a spiritual journey, all sorts of things. For the experiences I've had and experiences, it's been quite a journey. And I've documented and shared that throughout all my videos. And I've done a lot of videos, but also through my books. Now, I thought the videos were really pivotal and I think they're really important. But I recognizing it's getting really hard to manage the volume of them, whereas my books are far more concise. And I like that. So now I'm starting to realize how special the books are because of that, for that very reason. It's easier to direct people towards the books than it is to a specific video because, in all honesty, I don't know which specific video to put people out. I've done too many. It's been a hell of a journey. So I recognize I'm articulate, so I'm good on camera, but I'm also, even if you took the camera off, the vocals on their own for podcast and all sorts of things, when I do my audiobooks, I can do that to a pretty good standard, I think, really. And like I say with my books, I even thought this morning, I thought, to be honest, you're pretty great at what you do. I thought, yeah. And I think that's not from arrogance or egotistical, and that's just a recognition of self to say, you know what, you've come a long way. You're pretty great, And like I say, I don't gatekeep, I try to help people. So, of course, once you start to elevate, you start doing well for yourself in terms of like your growth, your abilities. It's where do you see yourself in the future and things, And I thought I've spoke up quite openly the fact that, with my spiritual journey, I already sort of know certain things. I don't like pushing out people because I'd rather keep people grounded so they could, on a balanced footing. So we're not sort of like going into those realms. It's more like, what can we do even without that? And I have an innate knowing. So what it does, it leans me towards America because of what I do. There's a spiritual community in America and all these sort of things. And that's where these opportunities come. But even just this morning, I was thinking, I don't even know if I want to go to America. That's interesting. That was just like a pivotal moment for me. I was like, because my life isn't governed by money. It never has been. So even if someone put an unlimited resources in front of me, it doesn't do anything for me. That's not what I'm doing. I don't do anything for that. Yeah, it'd be nice for my life to change, of course. So it'd be nice not to struggle financially and do well for myself. But I've no doubt I can do that for myself. If you talk spiritual, I had signs recently saying someone's going to come and they're going to give you a breakthrough and things, and they're going to help you become a millionaire. But I thought, I say it all publicly, openly there. I'm like, to be honest, I have no doubt I can make myself a millionaire, because I have that much confidence in myself. It just takes me longer. But if it's part of a journey, it's part of a journey. If it's supposed to happen, it's supposed to happen. I don't know. But like I say, I started to think about it, and I just thought, do you even want to go to America, though? If an opportunity comes at this present time, I don't know. It would have to be an incredible opportunity because the political landscape in America I find crazy. I'm not talking politics because, to be honest, it's an area where if you start going there, it starts to get wild and crazy. I mean, look, to be honest, I don't sit on the fence, though. I saw this other video, and I was going to talk about it. I couldn't be asked. It's people always jump on bandwagons after the fact. They'll say, "Oh yeah, I always supported it." It's like, no, I have the balls to say it before. Like, I don't look at Trump's policies. I don't know enough about him anymore. Like, I just don't care anymore because I just see the world as entirely corrupt. You'll see something. It's like an illusion, You see something with one hand, and they'll show you this beautiful opportunity, and it's like it's utopia. But then the reality is everything changes, and you end up getting crap after crap after crap. You see the politics around the world, and I think it should be illegal to say you'll do something as a politician and not follow through with it. That should be illegal because it's just manipulation. Anyone can say anything to make you excited, But that's in the UK, to be honest. I'm not quite happy with the politics here. But with Trump, I can see him bringing around, exposing corruptions, to be honest. I think he'll do good in that sense. But of course, we've got the other side where he's dealing with, I don't want to go into the politics of it all. But yeah, there's a positive side, there's negative sides. Is what it is. But in America, for instance, from the outside looking in, it just seems like a lot of stress that I don't need. That's what I see. There's a lot of bureaucracy, admin, paperwork. So there's also a lot of fees for everything in America. It drives you nuts. The more you think about it, the more you think, I don't need that headache in my life. And of course, then you have to go through the visa requirements and all these other things. It's like, do I even care enough to do it? That's the question, isn't it? It's like, it's bad enough going through the process, but do I even care? Not really. Not really. I don't see it as an upgrade. Now, that's not talking about American people in general or anything like that. It's just saying, like, where I am, I'm in the UK. Is the America an upgrade? I don't think so. I think money wise, America's an upgrade, but beyond that, I don't see it. I don't see it. I'm happy enough. If I could just upgrade my home, move to a bigger home where there's more space, less neighbors. That's what I strive for. It's so simple. I don't strive for huge things, like in terms of in my life. Um, I have issues with my car, for instance, and it's constantly giving me a headache because it's like one thing on top of another with things. And recently, the steering for a long time has been a bit. The tracking needs sorted, and so I'm like, oh, fine. It's like riding. It's like a powerful car though, but it's like riding a wild horse, and it's like it drives you crazy. So like I booked it in to get the tracking done and get 2 new tires done. Let's just get it done. And they were fair with me, They got in touch with me and said, I don't know why you're trying to change the tires. They're perfect. And I've had the guy that does the testing and things. They've also said your tires are fine. But the trouble is, if we try and do your tracking, it's probably these are your steering rods are corroding. If we do that, they might break. So we recommend you cancel this job. We get a full refund, and you look into getting the steering rods changed. He wasn't sort of asking for them to do it. He's just explaining the work that needed doing. And really, overall, it's a similar price to getting the tyres done and the tracking. So I'm like, let's do the steering rods then. But what was quite impressive with that is that I've been doing a bloody good job controlling this car and keeping it straight when the steering's a bit to the side because the tracking just needs adjusting. But yeah, I was shocked by that. And I don't want to give too much away because there's vultures in this world. And when I say vultures, I mean family members. And I don't mind. I'll talk about it. I don't care. Some people are literal vultures. So I don't want to say the name of the family member, although it'd be quite obvious to everybody around me. There's only one family member that helps me. And they offered to help me. I don't want to say why, because they're going through some sort of end of career things, if you like. So they offered to help me get a new car if I want to get another car, like replace the car. I said, I don't want to replace the car. Save your money. I don't want to replace the car. I just want to get this. I just want to get the steering fixed. I love this car. I'm not looking for something extravagant. I don't need anything better. There's nothing in my eyes. There's nothing better. This is my car. This is what I like. I'm happy as long as it stops acting like a wild horse. So I said, no, I don't worry about that. I just want to get. I'm just getting it fixed, and I'm happy. So weird thing come. This video is a bit all over the place. It's just me dissecting and thinking this morning. My daughter went home last weekend, and it's a bit adjusting back into life. I miss her a lot, and it's like the home becomes silent, and I get on with things. I'm a proactive person. I can keep my mind busy and things like this. I can get on. There's always something to be doing or entertaining myself with. And she was having a little bit of a chat yesterday, like messing around. Oh, not yesterday, day before, I mean, on a video chat. We was talking for quite a long time, good few hours. But yeah, we was just messing about Christmas presents and things. And I said, there's nothing I need. I don't need anything. I don't want anything. I've got what I need. If anyone's seen me, you see I'm collecting DVDs and things. I've got freaking DVDs coming out my ass. But, I like collecting them. I like doing that. It feels like, and again, this comes around to the America thing. I've been putting my life on hold to an extent, anticipating some big change. So I'm like, if I relocate, I can't take things with me. And that's actually annoying me because I want to start building my home, make it more of a home. I want to upgrade. I've been meaning to get the carpets replaced around the house. And I should have done it when I moved in. I only did my bedroom and I kept everything like it's temporary. And I'm sick and tired of living temporary like that. It's like, I want to make my home a home. If I can upgrade to a different home, a bigger home, great. That'd be nice. But yeah, I just want to start getting things done now and stop anticipating the future because it's driving me nuts because effectively you just end up in this holding pattern and I don't like feeling like that. But anyway, so my daughter, I was talking to her and I said, look, there's nothing I want. I've got what I need. I don't need a lot of things. I don't need expensive stuff. I'm happy enough. I'm content with what I have around me. Everything just becomes materialism. Didn't say it to that extent, but she gets it. I said, what could I possibly need? What do I need? And she actually said something and he's like, whoa, that's big. And she said, love. What do you need for Christmas? And she said, love. I was like, whoa. I said, yeah, that'd be nice. I said, unfortunately, with that sort of thing, you can't force that. You can't, you just can't guarantee anything, with that. When it comes to love, out of our hands, isn't it? So yeah. But I thought that was quite interesting that she pointed that out, and I think those are the things that matter, isn't it? But the reality is we keep ourselves a lot of the time in situations that make us miserable because we feel we need more all the time. But sometimes it's about just appreciate what you have. Like like I said, I'm in a collecting phase at the moment. I'm sick and tired. I go against, one of my biggest things is injustice, and I fight like tooth and nail. When I recognize an injustice, I go all in, and I'll talk about it publicly, but I'll also take action in my life. And when I've started to look at these streaming services, I'm like, the whole way the media companies are surrounding, even gaming, they're all connected. For instance, Sony controls an awful lot. Sony controls music, movies, and gaming, and a lot of it stems from there. The ones that invented Blu-ray. When back in the day, I think about it recently, and I thought I remembered this. When DVD was changing, we had this battle between HD DVD and Blu-ray. So there was an upscaled version of DVD that was higher quality, higher definition. I think it was it Panasonic or Paramount? I can't remember. I think it's Panasonic and Paramount and things like that. There were some companies that favoured HD DVD. They wanted to take the monopoly away from Sony. Sony and some other companies wanted Blu-ray. I went on the HD DVD because I didn't want Sony to have that monopoly. And I bought the discs. I bought a player that plays them. And in the end, Blu-ray won. So that's quite interesting. So now it looks to me like Sony and some other companies are trying to push us now away from physical media to digital. And now that I'm noticing it, it's like, oh, I'm not having that. I'm not having that. There's going to be a day, I have no doubt, when we can't buy new content on disc. I think the discs will get replaced with digital. And it'll be, we've got this nostalgia, this retro. Some people just are fortunate to have this physical media in their home. Some people think it's a waste of time and it looks a mess. Me, I like it. I think it's endearing. I love having a collection. And it's taking control now. And I was talking to my daughter recently. I said, it's all cheap enough, but the trouble is it's becoming harder to get. So you'll find at the moment, things you can afford things, but it's getting harder to find the ones you want if you're trying to find some more rarer stuff. And I think it's going to get more like that in the future. So I'm like saying, now's the time to collect if you're collecting. But again, this goes hand in hand with potential in America. Like, I don't know what's going on. I don't really care. I just don't care. All I want really is enough money to coming in to help me sort of thrive to an extent. If I can make a fortune, great. But I don't want to. I don't always want to relocate to such an extent. I'm happy. Like, I like England. There's sort of parts, if you start looking around the news and things, you start losing your mind because there's cretins everywhere. Low lifes. People just take off people. But again, that's a mindset shift that needs to happen. Start giving people the willpower to have value in their lives, to find value from self. Then they're less likely to take it from others. And that's where the problem comes. It's like that people don't love themselves. So they have no respect for you. That's how it comes. And it's a reflection of. So you can see it. See, they say, well, I could put on a facade. They can steal off people, be greedy, all these things. And they can act like they're all confident and I'm happy. No, you're not. Happy people don't behave like that. That tells me the level of misery and hurt in your life, to the fact that you can't even find sort of some morality. It's like, I don't have that ability to do that. I can't. I just can't. I just focus on myself I hold myself to such a high standard. I can't behave in the way that these people do. And it's just the way it is. But the thing is, to have those standards doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't mean I don't want things, but I'm someone who recognizes how much I need, how much I don't need. I get overwhelmed. I get really overwhelmed sometimes. With things. So I like gaming, but I can't have a lot of gaming devices because then I just get it drives me crazy because I'm like, my life is more than games. I can't just spend my life going from that gaming device, that one to that one to that one to that one. I want to watch films. I want to listen to music. I want to write my books. I want to create my content. I want to live. I want to get on doing things. If I feel pressured to just have something focused around me, I feel consumed by it and it gets on my nerves. But I'm sure some people can balance it and not really care. They just do what they want. For me, it just it gets heavy. I'd rather have one device for each thing. So if I turn the TV on, for instance, it's not really got the games console attached to it because I've got my PC gaming set up. Um, so when I turn the telly on, it's all about TV movies, which I think is what it should be. Nothing wrong with gaming on a console if you don't have other devices, but I think when you've got devices everywhere focused on gaming, it means every time you turn the device on, we're looking at games. And I think that's addiction. We've got to not have that. So anyway, little things. But yeah, just like I say, I was thinking about the future a little bit here, and I was thinking about like relationships, for instance, when I was talking about recently about twin flames and things. It actually makes me annoyed sometimes. Sometimes I'm excited by it, other times I'm actually really deeply frustrated by it because it's not fun knowing who that person is and have no power over it. So you're literally in a mental prison. And I've never believed in twin flames, and I'm not going to go too far here because this isn't supposed to be a spiritual one. But when you effectively know who your person is, it's like, for me personally, I can't waste my time with the wrong people. It's just a waste. It's just allowing chaos in my life. But we all want relationships and things. You don't want to live your life alone forever. It's sad. And you also miss that opportunity to just randomly happen across someone, meet them, and begin a romance and have those moments. It's like you don't get that opportunity, and it's like, that's sad. But there's always everything comes down to timing. You can't wait forever, and I certainly can't because I don't want to live alone forever. If someone needs to heal and they spend their life healing and they're never ready, why should I wait? It seems completely moronic on my side to just wait forever. What we're doing here, my life needs to move forward. The other side of that, of course, is it's so complicated. It's actually frustratingly. It frustrates me how the universe set this up because it's so. Oh my god, it's like a headache on every level. It's like, this is crazy. It's crazy. When people live in different countries, it's just the complications with it. It just drives you mad. But of course, it's worth it. Of course, the whole process is worth it for it to happen. But what a complication, It's like, oh my god, on top of the delays and delays and delays. So yeah, for now, my mindset's shifting. It's leaning less towards holding myself up for the future, more about just embracing the present and starting to focus on making myself happy rather than keep myself a caged prisoner to a circumstance, because that's what's been happening, and that's why I've been so fed up lately. It's just, I feel like a prisoner in my own mind, It's like, if this is coming in 6 months, what's the point of doing anything now, like in terms of like your home and even relationships and things, It's just, you keep yourself bound to it. And I want more for myself. But it seems a waste of time, doesn't it? Let's say an opportunity in America come and you had to relocate. And you've just done all this to the house, you just bought things, you've just been doing this, and then you have to leave it all behind. It'd be like, what a waste. If that's potential to happen, there's no point wasting money and time on that. But it could be a year away, it could be 2 years away, it could be 5 years, it may never happen. And it's like, We've already seen that with my carpet, for instance. I should have had it all done. It could have been done 3 years ago. And it's like, we can't keep delaying now. We need to start investing. It's like my TV, for instance. This is pointless, but I'm just going to talk about it because I might as well. So I dropped my daughter off. I have to, like I said in other videos, I have to drive 100 miles to return her to her mum in our hometown. Even though they don't even live there, they have to travel a long way to get there themselves. So I stayed there a little while, and then I come home, and my TV in the bedroom, I'm like, what is going on with this? I could hear it creaking. Now, bear in mind, for a while it's been falling out. The screws have been coming out of the wall, but I'm like, I think it's enough that it's holding on. A TV, for God's sake. But I'm like, no, I think it's all right. I'm always monitoring it. And I thought, wait a minute, I think that's slipping. Now, what I didn't realise, because the way the houses are built, most houses in the UK are built with like brick. They're really strong houses. For some reason, mine isn't quite built the same, and it's frustrating as shit for me because you can hear the cars go past sometimes more than you would normally, all these things. And apparently it's stud wall or something. I didn't know what the hell any of this was because I've never had a home like that before. So that wall isn't as strong as I thought it was. So I'm drilling through it. I'm putting the telly up. I've screwed it all in. It's been there for a few years now. Actually, this telly I upgraded about a year or so ago. It's heavier than the previous one, hence why the issue. But it turns out it's a stud wall, like drywall. And I didn't know that. So I'm thinking the screws are going all the way through like it normally would through masonry brick. And it weren't. So it's only when I looked into it a little bit more and I've got my torch and I'm looking through and I'm going, wait a minute, that's not going all the way in. So fortunately, I've pulled all the wall plugs out and I've bought some new wall plugs, and they go in slightly and then it expands out to stop it. And I kid you not, that's fixed it entirely. So instead of the screws wobbling, they've firm as anything, but they've put it on there. It's gone flush to the back of the thing. But again, this is just an example of me finally getting around to focusing on the house. I wasn't investing even to that extent. It was like, wait a minute, that telly's going to come off. Better take it off. I kid you not, before I bought the wall plugs, I tried putting it back on the wall 3 times, hoping I can. I was even trying sticky tape and things also, just to put in between the gaps to try and stop the screws moving. In the end, I was like, I'm just going to have to get the wall plugs. I've got them here, actually. If anyone's interested, I do talk some random shit sometimes. So it's these wall plugs for the drywall. They're only small. They're not as long as the other ones. And what it is, these little clippy bits, as soon as you push it in, they stop. They go against the back of it, and then it stops it falling out. And I think that's a 55-inch TV. And this something as simple as these little plastic things. There's only 4 screws in the wall, and it's keeping that on the wall, and it's flush. It's completely flush to the back of the. Like, I actually had the telly set up purposely, actually a little bit of a gradient, so it's leaning forward. But I disabled that. I unscrewed it a little bit and made it flat. Anyway, so it's a secure. That is incredibly secure, flat against the wall, because of those something as simple as some plastic wall plugs that had to be changed from masonry ones to drywall ones. Nice. But yeah, there's certain things I'm going to do. I do want to repaint at some point because I'm getting bored of grey. Grey's crap, isn't it? It's like we went through a phase where grey was really popular, but it's not. I don't like it anymore. It's too dark. I don't know if white. I think there's like an off-white you can get. I'm not sure. I don't know much about paint. But yeah, it's, like I say, I want to start getting my home done. If I'm going to be here, if I'm here for a year, then I definitely want to do it. I'm always like thinking in the short term, like this is happening. Something's going to change. Something's going to change. We're a year later, nothing's changed. If we talk about spirituality, I get a lot of signs that things will improve, and it's just it'll happen out of nowhere. But it's like I'm sick of the signs. It's not about giving up on a dream, but it's just being realistic in the short term. It's like I just got to get on. Just got to get on, and like I don't follow the same path as other people. It's just I'm more interested just feeling content and happy, and it doesn't cost a lot for that. So for me personally, for there to be an opportunity for me to go to America, for instance, it would obviously have to make financial sense because the cost of living there is crazy. It's ridiculous. So yeah, if someone thinks, he doesn't care about money, so we'll offer him shit, that's not going to happen because I'm not going to live a lower quality of life out there and struggle like I'm. That's not going to happen. But for me to leave behind really the country I love, it would have to be a great opportunity. Like in terms of not money, the money would have to make sense, of course, but it would have to be an opportunity I can't get at home. That's what it'd have to be. So, for instance, if I'm going to make money off my books, I can do that here. If I'm going to make money off social media, I can do that here. If it's a podcast, I can do it from home. So it'd have to be something that I can't physically do here that needs to happen out there. That's all I say, because it's like it wouldn't be a lifestyle choice. Now, that's not to say that if I was in America that I wouldn't enjoy myself and I wouldn't grow to make it home. That's not to say that at all. I don't know. I'm not there. I'm sure anywhere you can make home. But I think in the overall scheme of things, if it's given a choice, I would prefer to stay here. So it would have to be an incredible opportunity, an opportunity of a lifetime that just can't happen in England. That's the thing. When I say England as well, I have no interest in going into London. I don't like London. Like if I was in a relationship and the person wanted to visit London, that's different. We can pop into London once or so. Or I don't want to be that person that won't go there, but I don't like it. I don't like big city build up stuff. I get overwhelmed with it. It drives me nuts, and I just start getting pissed off with people because I don't like arrogance. Don't like people being rude. And in cities, that's city life, isn't it? Everyone out for themselves. It's like, yeah, I ain't got the patience for you people. That's just being honest. So yeah, I like the UK. I like to be as far into the countryside as I can possibly get myself. I'm on the fringes of. So it'd be nice to throw myself into the middle of the country at some point in the future. That'd be nice. That'd be my happy, tranquil place. There's no doubt you can have those experiences in America. So if you're American, for instance, there's no doubt that some have a wonderful life. So I'm not saying that England's better, but it's more suited to me. And it's not me being scared to step outside my comfort zone, because I've already said, like, if an opportunity in America comes and it makes sense and it's an opportunity I can't get somewhere else, then of course I'd consider it. And for the right thing, I'd throw myself into it. But yeah, I think sometimes, people sometimes don't appreciate what they have, and I'm someone that does. Yeah. Just of course, we all want to elevate our life a bit further forward. Yeah. So anyway, I'm in a bit of a crossroads right now. It's like, what do you do next? What do I do? Money wise, it's becoming a pain in my ass, man. It really is. I should be. The reality is, I just won't sell myself for anything. I won't. I just refuse. My mum talks to me a lot about this because she knows people. Like, for instance, I've got Raynaud syndrome, so I get this. My blood constricts. So in the cold, your hands can feel like they're slower. Like, if you've got, I don't want to say ongoing, but like if you're developing arthritis, for instance, you're going to feel it. So sometimes my hands go a bit like slower or annoying, and it's like, what is this? And my knees hurt more. I start feeling pain in my legs. My legs are always my feet are always freezing. All these things. I've got back problems from previous jobs. Sometimes that gets away. The reality is, I say what it all is. And if you try to claim certain benefits in the UK, first of all, they're crap. Most of them don't pay anywhere near enough, and that's another conversation entirely. But the reality is, these forms you have to fill in, and the conversations you have to go through, you have to exaggerate everything for it to be approved. And I just refuse to do it. I'll say what it is, and it's up to them to make a decision. It never goes in my way, but I won't do it any other way. So my mum's always saying, she knows someone at work who's got the same thing, and they get it. They've been awarded. I said, yeah, but they must have lied out their arse to get it, because I've tried and I don't get anywhere, and I'm not lying. And she goes, yeah, but I'm not lying. I'm not lying. I won't do it. And I'm always saying that to her. If I tell the truth and I don't get it, then so be it. I will not lie for that. I won't lie for anything. It's not going to happen. And that's how I am. So it makes my life incredibly hard, because my morals are that high. I just don't care. I'm not doing it because I'm sick and tired. That's where the bar moves all the time. If that's where it moves, it's like almost like they make the questions on purpose, expecting you to lie. Why can't they just do it genuinely? Because everybody lies so much, the bar keeps moving. It's like, I'm not playing this shit, man. So it's getting to the point financially where I'm going to have to consider going back to previous sort of job types, like warehouse work, and just see how I can cope with my back. It's just I'm going to have to, because to be honest, it gets a bit boring doing the same old. I'm a creative person. I enjoy doing my books. I enjoy doing things, but in some ways, it's not stimulating me enough to keep me occupied. Really, I do enjoy those jobs, although they get boring over periods. But I do miss them sometimes. Just working alongside people and things. It's nice. And of course, then your finances improve far more than they are. So you always have that potential to do that. But it's frustrating. You have to risk your health to do it when it's caused you this problem up to now. I think more frustrating than that is the fact that I haven't had the financial breakthrough from what I've done, and that gets really annoying. I mean, I put so many years into the books. I think 5 or 6 years now, and it's like, come on, it shouldn't be this hard. And I do the videos, and I'm consistent with it. I always show up, always trying to help people by showing from what I've been through, and hopefully, it goes some way to making people feel better about their lives, really, or give them direction. That's the whole point. But I just struggle with all sorts. You just struggle to get anywhere, and it's like that's what life has been. That's what life is like. But the reality is, like even when you're not there yet, it's like how much of yourself. Because I have these conversations with family members, and I say it to them, like, how much of yourself will you sell for money? It's an important question, isn't it? Because on the base of it, you have nothing, so you're free. You're free as a bird, but you have nothing. Nothing. Claim benefits, you can have a little. But then you start to have opportunities to earn money. How much of yourself will you sell to have some of that money? And this is really important because it becomes habitual. I see people all the time. They're either doing stupid GoFundMe's. There's that. I'm not going to say who it is because I'm sick of it. I'm sick of the cretins. They act like they got no money and they're trying to fleece people for money. And I'm like, I saw through you at the beginning and you're a joke, absolute joke of a human being. But whatever, you cretins. Yeah, I don't want to go down that path and start pulling people out. I'll go there. I will go there, and I don't want to. Then you get people on the TikTok shop who keep saying, check out this jacket or check out this gizmo. It's like, stop this shit. Why are people so gullible they believe it? You really believe that they actually use that product? They're trying to get the commission, and you're stupid enough to buy the products to give them the commission when you're just going to end up throwing it away anyway or not using it. It's just crap. All of it's crap. It's just nonsense. But yeah, they'll sell. It's like everyone's turning into a market trader now. They do no the morals. They have no morals. So, and again, I won't go there. I could do it. I could easily sell products. I'll be good at it too. But I would never do that. I won't do it. And not unless it's something I truly endorse and I use. That's the thing. If anyone ever saw me promoting something, it's because I genuinely use it and I feel comfortable enough talking about it. But you wouldn't see me doing TikTok shop shit. I keep getting invites from TikTok to do the shop and stuff, and it's like I won't be doing none of that shit with you. No, and I could make a lot of money from that. I've no doubt. I've seen the numbers people make, and I'm like, if I could make a whole channel on that, and I'm sure I could make a fortune. I've got no doubt in my mind. Again, not arrogance. I just know I could do it. I'd be good at it, but I'm not in the business of making money out of people suffering in that sense. When I say suffering, it's like if someone's struggling, then of course, if they, I see that all the time, someone's struggling. So if they just read one of my books, I'm not, it would help change their mindset and it would get them out of that hole when they're really depressed and things, but it's like, I can't say it. That's the trouble. I've seen some videos where people are really struggling and I'm like, if you just read the book, I'm sure you'd find direction in your life, But if I do that, it just looks like you're self-promoting, you're trying to succeed off someone's misery. And it's like, I can't. So I don't say anything. I just leave people, let them figure things out for themselves. And it's frustrating because I know it'd help. But yeah, I wouldn't do that where I'm trying to make money and someone loses in the process. It's just so the market stuff. No chance of any of that. While I'm talking, because this is a bit of a rambly video. For the right audience, they'll enjoy it though, and that's the point, isn't it? It's about finding your own crowd, community. This isn't for everybody. They wouldn't have got this far. But I was thinking recently that I'm likely to leave social media and some of the content creation by the end of next year, unless something big happens. So, for instance, if I get a career opportunity and it's an incredible breakthrough and engaging with people is an important part of that, then I've got no problems continuing doing what I do because it's an elevation. If I'm still doing what I do exactly how it is in a year's time, this time next year, then at that point I'll probably walk away from doing it because at that point I think I've done enough. And it's close a chapter, close a cycle, and then let's move on in a different direction, wherever that is. And that's kind of where my head's at the moment. Wasn't going to talk about it. I was just going to let it organically happen. But that's where I'm at the moment. That's what I'm thinking about. But I'm trying not to preempt it by being impulsive. It'll be just an organic thing where it happens. But I'm trying to keep myself level-headed while focusing on the future by embracing the present. It's not an easy thing to do when you're anticipating change. How do you cope in the present? It's a frustrating period to be in. It really is, because it keeps me prisoner to the circumstance. Like Christmas, every month's coming up closer, and you're anticipating this change. You're trying to give it as much time as you can, and you're like, right, I'm going to take action. I'm going to take action in a couple of weeks if this doesn't happen. And then a couple of weeks happens, you go, well, let's just give it a little longer. Before you know it, months are passing by. Christmas is coming and money's tight as hell. And it's like, I don't want to go into Christmas feeling like this. It's actually irritating as shit. And I've worked so hard. And that's where it gets demoralizing. Then you see people, they're cretins of society. They create GoFundMes and they start doing this pleading for shit, even though they don't provide anything of positive substance to the world, and they're just trying to drain you on purpose. They're just leeches. And, I'm not going to be the only one struggling while that's going on. And you look on thinking, this is a joke, man. You try and do positive things in the world and you struggle. It just doesn't, the maths don't math, it's crazy. Yeah, it just doesn't. It's maddening, really. But it doesn't stop me wanting to help people because, like I've spoken in other videos, I think I've got like 4 manuscripts done at the moment. Like, there's a lot of work on them manuscripts. If I edit them effectively, if I went crazy on an editing phase, these books could be out early, like spring next year. They could be a load of them out, but I'm not doing it because I don't want to bring some. I've always said I only really want to bring one book out a year, and I've stood by that. Doesn't mean I won't do multiples a year. The potential's there, of course. Like I just said, I could have had the next one out. I just released one in August, and I could have had another one out at Christmas, but I didn't. In the end, I didn't want the other one out at Christmas. I wanted a break, wanted a rest from the intensity of it. It's like it's possible, but I don't think people realize the intensity of it. It's like even if you've done the manuscript, it's still a heavy editing phase, and it's like perfecting it, And it's like I don't want to go there right now because once you open that can of worms, you're going to lose a month or two, intense period, and I want to relax. And it seems stupid in comparison, but it's not because obviously you just grind yourself to death. But the work's there, so there's more books to come for sure, at least 4 more, and we're already at what 6. So when they're done, we're at 10. Then there'll probably be even more after because that's actually my calling, my passion. I could come away from the camera, I could stop talking. It could be the microphone goes, the video goes, and I could easily just sit there and just continue writing and writing, and there'd be more works in the future. And it might be that's where the future takes me. If I don't see the success, the books will still come, even though I'll get frustrated that it seems pointless. But it's my passion. Um, And it may be that in the future, I recognize talking on camera, doing the videos is also my passion that I never gave myself recognition of, and I didn't realize how much it meant to me. We'll see. But then there's also a big side of me. The reason I talk about walking away from that side is there's a big side of me that seeks privacy. And it's really, I think it's at the moment, and this is where I'm interested, even I don't know. I've always said that when you go through a crisis or you're going through a struggle in your life, I think it's important to document it to an extent because if you only show people the paradise, they don't know how you got there. So I've always been very aware that it's important that I share the journey. So I talk more about my struggles than I do about the success. Like I don't dwell on my positives too much. Like for instance, I've done my books. I don't really sit there promoting the books all that much. I don't get the books out and read them and keep saying, "Look at what I've done. Look what I've done." It's more about like where am I going next? Where are my frustrations? What do I want to achieve? Where am I at the moment? It's more of a frustration. Even I don't even give myself time to appreciate what I've done. It's always on to the next, on to the next, on to the next. But I am aware that when my life comes together and I have the happy home life and maybe I am being successful, do I need to continue sharing? Because my whole thing is about inspiring people and trying to help them uplift them through their situations. If I'm doing well for myself and my circumstances change, that work already is out there. Do I need to share the after show, if you like? Because I think there's important to have a level of privacy in your life. And that's what I'm wondering. When life improves, do I still do the videos because I want my privacy too? And it's hard to find that balance. And is it necessary? So it's interesting, isn't it? Because some people might think that, oh, look, now they've got there, they're not interested. It's like, no, it's a different story, isn't it? The new book starts. I don't know if we need to share that book. That's interesting. Of life. Like I said, I'll continue to write books. But in terms of book of life, it's not always, we've got certain books to our life. And it's like, usually it's like a chapter changing. But when it's such a big change, big shift, it's like that book's finished then, isn't it? That entire book's finished. You can wallow in it. See, that's where people don't let go of the past. They hold on to that book and they just won't they won't move on to the next one. And sometimes you just got to let it close. You can have fond memories, you can have negative memories, but either way, it can stay shut. You can look at it sometimes, have a little peek, but you don't need to open that whole can of worms again. Just get on with life. And that's what it's about. So once that new book begins, I'm not sure what it entails. And that's quite exciting for me because, in all honesty, I need change. I desperately need change in my life because I've outgrown my circumstance in so many avenues, in every avenue. I feel like I am now the big fish in a little pond, and I've outgrown it immensely. And I'm really excited to be the little fish in the big pond. Because when you go through the next phase, you're going to be potentially the novice because it's all a big world. It's all a big, whatever the opportunity is, you'd be surrounded. potentially surrounded by people who are far more experienced than you in whatever avenue. And that's interesting. Doesn't mean you're not capable, because you thrive under pressure, you grow. I'm a very quick learner. I already know a lot of what I need to talk about, but maybe it's the presenting, maybe it's there's all sorts of things, And that's what I'm ready for now, the big opportunity to just break me free from this little pond, because it's frustrating as shit. When you're only surrounded by I don't want to say low vibrational people, but very limited people with no ambition, people with no morals. um, it's like, where's my people? This is not my people. I've outgrown everyone around me at this point, for the most part. Most people, 99, 95% of the people. So yeah, I'm ready for the new now. Something where we're elevated. And the same thing with some of these content creators, people that I looked up to in the past, or I enjoyed their content. I struggle to watch it now, because I think the message that's getting delivered, I don't need. It's like, I'm there. I'm already either experienced it, or I'm experiencing. I just don't need to hear it. It's like, I'm on to the next phase now, and I'm not sure where that is, or what that is. But yeah, I think it's important to show all these sides. I mean, I know it's a bit of a rambly video, but I think hopefully it helps people, because it gets to show that you will ascend, you will outgrow your environment, you will become stronger, more confident in yourself, more experienced, and it's upgrade, upgrade, upgrade. And there's times when it's like incredibly frustrating. You've outgrown everything. You're a better version. You deserve opportunity, and then sometimes it's like you're going to be left in a holding pattern for a long period. It's not always short and swift. Like, do you know what I mean? That's a naive mindset. That's kind of where my mind was. It was like, once you're achieving this, of course the breakthrough's coming. Of course it's coming. This is going to change my life. Don't change shit. Doesn't change my ambitions. Doesn't change my confidence in myself. It doesn't change the dreams or what you do, but it does get demoralizing, because you've thrown everything into it and you expected something beautiful, and it doesn't always happen. And I think it's just that's why I think it's so important to share that, because it's like, at that point you either give up, or you just keep pushing forward, because it's your dream, it's your passion, and there's no other alternative. And I think, again, that's why I talk about it, is to shine a light on that, so people, they either sink or swim. I prefer just keep swimming, and then you get wherever you're going. I think giving up, though, would be a bit sad, wouldn't it? Because then you're guaranteeing failure anyway. But what I would say is, it gets a bit more, maybe don't swim so fast. Maybe don't swim so fast, because you're all excited when you think you're achieving something, and you think your life's going to really transform. So you get really excited and you really throw everything into it. You do slow down a little bit, when you think, what, this is just a dead end. I'm not getting anywhere. So you lose hope to an extent, and you will slow down inevitably. Maybe get a bit more of a reality check, become more realistic. But it's important you don't just sort of like stop treading water. You don't just give up entirely. So I'm learning to balance things a bit more now, rather than throw it all in, because the more you throw yourself all in, you get more frustrated with the lack of result. Like I say, I could if I thought my breakthrough comes from me finishing all the manuscripts, for instance, let's say everything hinges on you just getting all that work done, then everything changes. Well, of course, at that point, let's get this done then. But from what I've seen so far, that's not the case. And it's more, at this stage, more self-indulgent, in the sense that it's more for my pride, my accomplishment, and more my goals at the moment. And it might be that people read my books in 5 years, 10 years. I don't know, maybe never. But the point is, it's not today, and I don't suppose it's going to be tomorrow. So there's no point me rushing to run to get them done when the audience isn't there yet. I'll know when the time comes, because the audience will gravitate to the current books. When I see my work picking up and it's elevating, then I'll go, okay, well, obviously, it's people time to read these anyway. They don't need to read these and then go and read another 4, do they? So it'll be a case of, okay, now I know, over the next year or two, let's get the others finished. Let's give the people what they need, But I don't think at this point people desperately need, because the others exist. For instance, I've got another spiritual book coming out. It's going to be deeper and big longer than I anticipate than Losing Mind to Find Your Soul, my first one. But the first one's incredibly important. So I think I want people reading, realistically, I want people reading that book before they read the next one. Because I think it's important. It's important not to forgo this one and just completely deviate from it. So we'll see. And likewise with the self-development and sort of finding yourself and healing. I think the other three are very important books. So yeah, another one can come and it'll give another mindset, another topic, another part to the puzzle. But it's really important that people are already aware of the puzzle, and I think it's important. And again, I could do the third book in A Father's Daughter, finish it off. I've already done half of it, but I don't even know if I'm going to go there because it's personal. Is it necessary? I don't know. If it is, it's like I still think people need to read the other ones though. I mean, obviously you could read that. I'm trying to make them standalone to an extent where someone could pick a book up and it doesn't matter which one you pick up. And I think that's really important. So, for instance, in A Father's Daughter and A Heartbroken Daughter, I did a little summary at the beginning of A Heartbroken Daughter to anyone that hadn't read the first one because I just felt it was really important that we give some perspective to the story, really, not what life has been and what we're at and why this exists. With the other ones, it's more you just pick it up as a topic, but you put it all together and it's this massive encyclopedia of knowledge, I guess. But anyway, yeah, bit of a rambly one, but I'm in a bit of a rambly mood. I just thought, you know what, I think we need to talk about this a little bit, and just get it off my chest a little bit, really, of my frustrations in the current period, understanding that I need to get on, and I need to start focusing on improving my life in the short term rather than keep looking so far towards the long term. Because, I do want things. I don't need a lot, but I do want things, for instance, I've shown it seems silly, but it's like, I'm really enjoying it. I feel cozy. I want my home to be cozy. That's what I want. I like a sanctuary. So if I like to have all my movies so I can go, again, forgo the streaming shit. I don't want that no more. It's all right in phases. For instance, like Netflix allows continuous things. So that's nice. But then at the same time, do I need the telly on if I'm not watching it? And there's these little things to change your lifestyle a little bit. But yeah, I need to get another shelving unit for some more DVDs. That'll be the last one because I've got no more room to keep putting them everywhere. The shelves. That's just the last rack that would fit in my current home. But I like it, and it's nice. And then I've just recently I'm moving my daughter's room around, try and make it a bit more homely for her. And I think it's a bit better. But again, need some more furniture. So it all costs, this is the thing. So everything adds up. Then I've got issues with the car that needs fixing. So I have to be realistic and say, look, I do need money right now. Of course I do. I've got things I've got aspirations for, but there's also immediate essential needs. My washing machine, absolute nightmare. So I've got a washer dryer. In America, I don't think they have that. But in the UK, we have such limited space in our kitchens because we don't have a utility room. And like, for instance, I have 3 slots, for instance. One is obviously the oven. That's the slot because it's designated. Then I have 2 other bays for things. And one is you can have a washing machine and a dryer, or you can have a dishwasher, and then you can have a washer dryer or just a washing machine. So it's options. And I just go for washer dryer and a dishwasher because I like having a dishwasher and it's simple. You effectively use the dishwasher far more than you use a washing machine. So that's crazy. Now, some people will say just get a washing machine, they're more reliable than a washer dryer, but I think they're the same. Some people say the washer dryer, it doesn't dry as good, but at least it dries. That's my point. It's like I don't use the drying feature all the time, but if I do like bedding and things, it's like, that's good because I can put it on dryer mode and it'd be done in a couple of hours. Well, that's better than leaving it around all bloody day or 2 days worth of trying to get the house to dry it or the garden, whatever the weather is, So I like a washer dryer, but they're a little bit more expensive. And my one is going absolutely nuts. It's been doing it for a long time. It makes this noise in the drum, which isn't ideal. But also the PCB board, it's mental and it's been doing it for ages. I've got like maybe there's like 12 or 15 options on it. And now it's only working with maybe 3 of the options. And no matter what I do, it will only do them. So I used to do like a 40-minute cycle. It was quick wash, but the longest quick wash. Now, actually, I think before it used to be an hour, actually, 60-degree hour, but that 60 degrees stopped working on that function. So I had to go to quick wash for 44 minutes at 40 degrees. That don't work anymore. The 30-minute one don't work. This is how I have to do it now. This is my washing machine. I can do a 14-minute quick wash at 30 degrees, or I can do a 2-hour cycle at 60 degrees. And I'm like, well, I don't really need 60 degrees, and I don't know if it's going to shrink shit. I don't know. And 2 hours seems excessive. But 14 minutes ain't enough. So sometimes what I'm doing is putting it on a 14-minute quick wash. Then I'm putting it on a 30-minute rinse. And then I have to put it on the spin dry thing. There's like a dry cycle for like Spin and drain, I think it is, for another 10 minutes. I'm having to toggle. This thing needs replacing. I haven't got the money to replace it. Like I say, I've got to fix the car. It's all these little things, but everybody has these problems, you know? So, yeah, if anyone thinks he's embellishing things, he's doing better. No, I'm not. I'm just stable in my discomfort. And that's how I've got so used to struggling that it doesn't overwhelm me as much as I think it would other people. It doesn't feel comfortable. It gets frustrating as shit. But it does bring you, I think it makes you humble. It makes you humble. You can appreciate what you've got, but also you don't sort of like lose your mind in the struggle. You always know things can work out eventually. You know, eventually the washing machine breaks. If I can't replace it, I'm just gonna have to do it by hand. That's gonna be a shit. Maybe I'll think about chucking a dishwasher. No, me, I'll probably think of a way to do that. Why not? If it works, who knows? Everything can smell like lemon. Yeah, but yeah, we'll see what happens. I am an optimist, so I come across a lot of people that are pessimists. They always think doom and gloom. They always think the worst. Nothing can improve. I'm too optimistic, so I always see improvements, but then I get carried away and I think things will improve faster than they do. But life has a way, you know. I think it has a way of testing us, teaching us humility, and I think just showing us more about who we are, for good and bad. Sadly, I think too many people fail the tests. They take the easy way out. They're corrupt. And unfortunately, too many people, they copy those that come before them. So if you see your politicians and leaders are not very nice people, it's greedy, there's no morality. Sadly, the people follow that and then they mirror it. And it's like, just because you can doesn't mean you should. Something to think about.